people are too close-minded to see it. But DF support is for sure OP. Hey guys, Mikyx here, and today I'm gonna be looking at some plays from this past MSI sent over by you guys, the fans. So let's get started.
Hasn't worked out so far because he's ahead in farm by just a little bit against Faker, but trying to keep him down is important. Faker now possibly in trouble here as it's a decent little catch there onto Jankos, who's just trying to get forward, and Faker is going to break his stopwatch. The teleport's coming through from Zeus, and now he's trying to protect his mid laner, but the last breath comes in. The ultimate's there from Zeus as well. No one's died just yet. Faker is going to be able to take down Targamas, but then immediately 3 kills, and now Owner is trying to chase this one out. Caps is in trouble. The heartbreak comes on through, and the resets are coming in. Can he find the next one? Yes, he can. It's now the Gallister, and Broken Blade's in trouble. It's a triple kill for the LCK Spring MVP for the finals, and Owner will reclaim victory for T1 in the fight.
So yeah, here we have G2 versus T1, the first game of the group stage. And G2 is playing their wombo combo comp, and they're making a pick on Faker in the top lane here. As a pretty good stopwatch. Caps mistimed his tornado, but Jankos did a pretty good ult. I think the layering of the CC could be a little bit better, but well, somehow they got 2 kills. And now I think Viego plays this really well. Like I think he uses all of the gems that he picks up perfectly. Okay, here he misclicks, so it's a bit closer than it should have been. But luckily he gets a shield bow from the Yasuo. And he made a bad click as well. He jumped back. But honestly, pretty good play, yeah. I mean, I don't know why Viego gets like passive from the item, so he gets shield bow here. That allows him to kill Kalista as well. And then here he clicks back instead of forward, because otherwise he could have maybe chased down the Ornn as well. But I guess he got his flash, so wasn't too bad. Pretty good play by Owner. And if I would have to put it somewhere in here, I mean, I don't know, like, I have to, you know, see the other plays to see where it is on the ladder relative to the other ones. Let's put him in the middle so far. It was like pretty good. Could have been better. Actually, we could have put it S because he played it like pretty good. Wasn't flawless, but it was like, I'd say S tier, yeah. Obviously Gwen, like this champ is so imbalanced. Like it actually makes no sense. Like I fed Viego, he still doesn't like one-shot everyone that he sees. He still needs to go like 1 by 1. He doesn't have like crazy AoE damage, and also he's kind of killable, like from long range. Let's say Nautilus presses R on him, he has to either R away through a wall or he just dies. But Gwen just presses W or something. Like, how is that fair? And the Gwen W has 20-second cooldown. It should be like at least 1 minute. And Gwen has true damage. She has AoE. She has perma jumps. Like, this champ is a headache, yeah. But yeah, fed Gwen for sure is the most OP champ in the game.
Very explosive, but the response from Inspired was good, mainly because you're getting so much gold onto Danny. A bit of trading now in the mid lane.
Caps does have Ignite here. Jojo already burnt the TP. Vulcan here in time to save his mid laner. Sun card comes out. Abyssal Voyage. Caps flashes forward with the Ignite. Ticking Caps takes it. The tower will not shoot. The tongue will not lash. But here is Inspired just in time. Caps still trying to dodge away.
Oh, no.
He gets to the other side. Vulcan flash, tongue lash. Give him a licking in the bushes. Inspired continues to chase. Caps trying to get away. Has the Razor Beaks to dash to and should be able to escape a tongue lash. Abyssal Voyage going forward. Caps double dash and manages to survive.
Oh my god, Caps just broke Jojo's ankles, man!
Somehow Tamkin Qs in that direction when it should be impossible to miss. So then he has to flash. Okay, this does a flash Q. Okay, so 3 seconds his Q is up again. Surely he's gonna die now. Oh, no. He has the chickens. And Caps is out just like that. Basically, Vulcan kinda trolled this whole play. And Caps played it as well as he could have played it. So I don't think it's gonna go that high on my list. I would give it like A. Actually, no, I'll give him C. Why did he not do this when he was playing Yasuo in my team? No, I'll give him A. That was pretty decent. I mean, he had to rely on the enemies to misplay compared to the Owner play, I think. So yeah, but I guess we'll see the rest. But this is like a temporary spot. It's somewhere in here. So yeah, the 2019 MSI. It was a pretty funny tournament because, well, I had some wrist issues that year, like at the start of the year until MSI basically. So I think 1 month before MSI I didn't play the game like at all. I was just like kind of watching scrims and yeah, basically just watching, yeah. And I only played playoffs. Yeah, I played, I don't know, how many games did we play? Maybe like 10 games in total of playoffs games. And then no solo queue or anything, and then 1 month break. Everyone was like playing solo queue in Korea. I was just like watching, so it was kind of boring for me. And then, well, at some point, my wrist issue got fixed. So then I started playing a little bit of scrims. I was kind of ending at the start, but I felt like on stage I was playing really well. We were getting kind of stumped by IG up until I think it was the last day before playoffs. We actually won some scrims against them, and we were like, okay, we may be pretty decent. But then IG lost to Team Liquid, so then we were really confused as what was going on. But then we also were thinking, because we like the semis and finals were also back to back like the next day. So we were saying, okay, if we win against T1, then we win MSI. And after we won against SKT, it was yeah, a crazy moment because it felt like as if we already won MSI. And then yeah, the next day we played against Team Liquid, and then we kind of stumped them. So it felt a bit unreal. Like even after we won, I don't know, it was just like weird. I just couldn't believe that it was like that easy. At least like yeah, the final. Because usually you're supposed to ramp up, you know, you go even harder opponents. But yeah, it was a bit anticlimactic, I'm not gonna lie, but it felt pretty nice.
A Jinx and a Tahm Kench versus a team of Baron. You've seen this before. The charm flashed away by Yumayushi. Faker looking to get in from the back of the pit. Frozen Tomb available for him. RNG calling T1's bluff. And Faker finds them all. Yumayushi, Carrier and Faker will not go quietly into the night. Form is temporary. Faker is forever.
If I've learned anything from the MSI patch, or like Jinx in general, you don't do Nash against Jinx, otherwise you will get pentakilled. I think Danny showed that at some point. I think the Ari does a pretty good play here, like he's trying to surprise the Jinx by doing this. I think what could be better is if he was actually standing in the pit, so he would come out of fog instead of kind of doing it from vision, because then it would give him time to react. But nonetheless, it was a fine play, so I would give... Yeah, I mean, everyone on T1 played this one really well. He could have killed the Viego as well, you know, but it's fine. He was kind of waiting with his E a bit too long. But yeah, that was the play, and I don't know what I would rate it. I think it's for sure above the Caps play. I could actually put it above Owner's play as well, because there was not too many misplays here, except for the Ari getting knocked up by the Tentacle. And them grouping up, I mean, that's like kind of understandable, because they don't want to stand on this side of the pit because they're gonna get poked down by the Jinx. So I would probably put it maybe below Owner, but still in S tier. Okay, so maybe if there's like another play that is like in the same area, I will do this, because this one was like really big misplay by enemy. This one was like just a little bit, and it was also like kind of easy to execute compared to the Viego play, I think. So far, yeah, the leaderboard is like this, kinda. But we'll see. Let's see it after the next one. I guess playing versus Faker, and like, well, just in general, not just in best of fives, you kind of always assume he's gonna make the correct play. Like, you can never think, oh, this guy is like just running it right now. Sometimes it happens, right? But in the game, at least, when I played against him, I never felt like he was like completely running it. So you have to kind of be cautious about him. Like I guess he has like a bit of a presence, you know. When you see his champion walk around, you're kind of like focused on him. Like, for example, I remember I was playing Nautilus when he was playing Rise at some point, and every team fight I was just looking at him permanently and just like trying to CC him as much as possible. And yeah, there was a Silas play where he like 5-man Naru ulted us. So that was a little bit crazy. But yeah, I guess he usually finds good plays, like he has a good eye for opportunities, I guess.
But have they got here fast enough? As it's a really nice chain from Faker, but he will pop back. And G2, now can they get out of this one is the question. Oh, just dives into the knockup. The setup was just beautiful from Broken Blade as Faker goes down. Now T1 desperately trying to get out. Good flash from Carrier, but Owner's not going to be so lucky. Charming is Caps as he puts him back towards his outer turret there in the mid lane. So Owner is going to be alive, and yeah, maybe it's Baron on the table.
I mean, in theory, Faker should wait here for Carrier to use the blast to the plant here and reveal all of them, and then they could continue pursuing. But yeah, Faker was a little bit impatient because I don't know. I just don't see what he gets by jumping over this wall. Like he doesn't actually get anything with this. Like he doesn't have vision in the bush, so he can't like QR anyone. He can only use his E and then jump back, which is kind of worthless. He's wasting a cooldown. So yeah, he should have waited for the blasting, or not the blasting, the scrying orb, and then they could have potentially cleaned them up. They got 1 kill. It was a bit of it was a cool play. It wasn't insane or anything. It was just good, and also a little bit of a misplay. So I'm not sure where I would put it in here. Yeah, this one's a rough one. Let's just see the next one, and then we can make a better comparison between all the 5. He's also using the bow skin, so I could definitely see that he was paying attention to the bow stream in the last few months, I guess. He didn't go full AD though, so he misplayed. Otherwise, LeBlanc would get 1 shot. Yes, that is my newest invention. It's just people are too close-minded to see it. But TF support is for sure OP because, well, mid lane TF is basically just like support TF because you're just there to CC people and ult around the map, but you do 0 damage. So you might as well play it support and have damage on another lane. The only like downside of support TF is that it doesn't have gold from his passive, but you get it from last hitting wards actually, so that's pretty decent, you know. And then if I would have to like, I'd really like playing TF support basically, depending on the situation. Like it could be pretty good in some situations. His laning phase is kind of weak though. And then another one is Ashe support. I think that is also a pretty decent one that I had a lot of success with in solo queue. And yeah, it's like a big lane bully.
Giving him enough time for the stasis to wear up and get the kill. Obviously they give Xiaohu time to walk forward and kill you anyway, so it was always going to be a trade, but a dragon fight has started. Third dragon available here for RNG. Jojo again in trouble. He's going to go down to Gala, and now Gala's going to keep on going. Bing with the wraparound, but KI over the top, and that's 2 kills for Waves. The dragon is one of them. Gala going to pick up yet another kill. It's a double, it's a triple, is it a quadra, is it a penta? Gala's going to get it again! The pentakill for Gala!
Gala gets his second pentakill of the tournament!
So, from first glance, I don't actually think he did anything impressive. He just kind of last hit a bunch of kills. So let's look at him in slow motion, yeah. First of all, he uses E for fun a little bit. Gets feared, cleanses it. Okay, cool, he's auto-attacking. Ult's over, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think this one is probably the least impressive out of all of them. He was just kind of like right-clicking them, and they happened to die from his right clicks. And he didn't really dodge anything by himself. Like even this Nautilus hook, yeah, I'm not sure if I would count it as a dodge. He was kind of like not hittable behind that wall. And also the Gwen ult the other direction. What was he ulting? Well, this was for sure the lamest out of out of all the plays. He didn't really like outplay anyone, and the enemies didn't really misplay either. Like they were just like so far behind they actually just don't do damage. So it doesn't matter that he got like feared by the Vex or anything. And this one was for sure the worst one. So I'll put it here, and then the Sion play I'll put here. Was it 101 S plus? No, there was no such thing. I think. Yeah, I think I would put the list something like this. Like, I'm not sure which one was better. I would probably say Owners was better. But I'm pretty happy with my list, yeah. I think this is justifiable. So yeah, Gala I think was for sure the best performing AD at MSI. Yeah, his Xayah and Kai'Sa were pretty crazy. I think Ezreal was pretty good as well. Actually, Ezreal was really good. Yeah, I don't think he was particularly outstanding in the LPL, but yeah, it appears that he was much better than everyone else at MSI. So yeah, I think it is very tough to get a pentakill on support if you're not playing Pyke. I'm trying to think what supports actually do damage, and like maybe I can think of like Brand or something. So if I would have to like choose a champion that I can see getting a pentakill as a support, it would probably be something like Brand, because other champions just don't really have damage to actually kill 5 people. Unless you somehow luckily kill steal all 5, but sounds, yeah, very difficult. So I would say that's something like Brand, yeah. I think that would be my pick for the first support pentakill that is not on Pyke. Yeah. or maybe my TF. So my favorite AD to play with is probably Kalista, just because of her ult. Because if I run it down, she can like ult me out and then save me. And also, yeah, her ult is just like pretty OP, and she has really strong laning phase. And you can pair her with a lot of supports. Like she enables so many support picks just because of her ult. I feel like I don't know, Gala support is pretty good with Kalista, but not with any other AD, I would say. Or like. Rel, so it's kind of similar, like because with Rel you jump in, you're most likely not getting out, but you have Kalista ult, then you can re-engage, you know. So yeah, honestly her ult is like the most important part, yeah. So thank you so much for sending all these plays over. Let me know in the comments which MSI play you like the most, and I'll see you all later.